But one of the things it made me think of is one of the things that we have done here on the Crusade Radio Network is there have been I can hold in my hand right here, there's the amount of times we had to do an official retraction. That is by design. And that's because we operate from a certain set of cardinal rules and principles, and everyone else should too. I said at the end of the last segment, because we're running out of time, that the only way the mainstream media is ever going to be mainstream MSM ever again when it loves Main Street. And it does not love Main Street. You can't govern, you can't lead something. Trump has said this, and I think President Trump is correct. Again, what a great leader we have from time to time. He's right about things. You can't lead something if you don't love it. You're all clear on runway 3. Air conditioning unit clear on runway 3. Clear for takeoff. The people that work in the MSM hate me and they hate you. They don't want to be in the same room with us. They think they're elite snobs. They think they're smarter than you are. They think they smell nicer than you are. They think when they leave a bathroom after that, you can figure it out, that it smells better if someone else goes behind them than it does if one of us comes out of the bathroom, having done the same thing, et cetera here. They think we're stupid. They think religion is stupid. They don't believe in God for the most part. They don't believe in family. They think that's stupid. They think all manner of things that are actually necessary to survival and are part of the good, true, and beautiful are either stupid or need to just be done away with. They don't love Main Street. They don't love the people on Main Street. They don't love the concept of Main Street. And they certainly don't love the mainstream. You see, they want the mainstream to be perverted sex offenders running around having illicit affairs wherever the hell they feel like having an illicit affair, and then doing the most disgusting, despicable things with the natural results, the byproducts of the sex, as they call it. And that's just one of the reasons why they hate us and why they are not mainstream, and they're never going to be mainstream again. They're going to have to earn it. And my position is, and I was kind of inspired by this, by something I read in Snow Leopard, is the only way you're going to earn that back is when you fall back in love with and you decide that, you know what, I want to serve Main Street. I want to serve the mainstream. There is a website out there. It is, hold on, it's not in that window. It would be in this window. It is called the SPJ, the Society of Professional Journalists. I know some of you are going, Mr. Charpley, they're boring me to tears. I don't want to hear about mainstream. Get back to Matthew Biden. I think this is important. I think the business that you work in probably has a lack of ethics in it. And I think to make America great again, we ought to make America holy. Not to say, and I'm not going to say again, because I'm not sure that it ever was, but people that are holy and are seeking them first, the kingdom of God, don't commit intentional breaches of ethics, because people die as a result. People's lives are ruined. The mistakes that were made in the Justice Department, the ethical breaches that were committed by Merrick Garland and members of Congress and judges cannot be undone. Those people's lives are ruined. They're going to have to answer for that at judgment. Good. I hope they do. Do I hope they go to hell? No. I hope they get religion twixt now and then. But they're never to be put back in charge again. Again, no quarter for these people. Part of not giving them quarter is also do not allow them to be in charge of anything ever again. Now, a lot of this stems from the fact that we no longer have an ownership society. When you own the means of production, you are far more likely or less likely to commit ethical breaches. Because you own it, your name is on it, people are going to hold you accountable for it. You're far less likely to commit that kind of a grave ethical misstep. Now, not that you wouldn't, and I'm not saying it's impossible because it does happen, but you're less likely. So what is the Society of Professional Journalists? Well, they have a page here. I just thought I'd share quickly a part of it with you. It's called the SPJ Code of Ethics. Now, this is interesting. It hasn't been updated since 2014, probably to deal with some social media stuff. I'm just going to read you the subheadings here. See if any of this describes current practice of the people that occupy that sphere called the MSM. Preamble. Members of the Society of Professional Journalists believe that public enlightenment is the forerunner of justice and the foundation of democracy. Ethical journalism strives to ensure the free exchange of information that is accurate, fair, and thorough. An ethical journalist acts with integrity. The Society declares these four principles as the foundation of ethical journalism and encourages their use in its practice by all people in all media. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I am writing a rule for broadcasters and media people who are Catholics to govern themselves by. Because there are Catholics out there in broadcasting and social media who violate these ethical things every single day. So the Crusade Radio Guild, our nonprofit, which you can make a donation to, crusadechannel.com/donate, I think is the kind of an entity here. They go like, is your little media outlet there? Or are they Crusade Radio, a member of the Crusade Radio Guild? Because the only way you're going to get into the guild is if you agree to the rule. And you're not going to agree to the rule unless you're trying to get to heaven. I think a society of people that are trying to get to heaven is probably a pretty good society. No, it may not have all the bells and whistles and throwaway luxuries and conveniences that we have today, but maybe it won't kill as many people. Maybe it won't damn as many people to hell. And then they have their ethics broken down into seek truth and report it. That's one. Minimize harm. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Golden rule stuff here. Act independently is number 3. And number 4, be accountable and transparent. And there are subcategories and claims in the ethical code. These people don't do any of these things. Those things are not even considered anymore. Play Bill O'Reilly. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I am. O'Reilly is right.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Oh, that's the wrong O'Reilly. I'm sorry. O'Reilly on News Nation with Chris Cuomo yesterday.
Comcast said, you two, we're going to have to try to mend some cliche fences, and you two are going to go in there and you're going to try to tamp it down. Because Comcast knew the next day they were going to announce that MSNBC is vapor. That is a huge media story.
Why is
Enormous.
it vapor? Just because they're spinning it off and putting them in the... They're spinning off a bunch of brands.
There's no spin-off.
Yeah, there is. It's a spin-off company.
There's no spin-off. See, you buy the propaganda, Cuomo.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean about
I'm just saying
people?
what's being reported.
All right.
But what do you know?
Yeah, I know, but why would you believe what's being reported? You want the real story? Here
Yes,
it comes.
please.
So they're uncoupling their word, Comcast, MSNBC from NBC News. That means MSNBC has no resources at all. None. They're not going to be able to pay these people millions of dollars, Rachel Maddow, whatever she's making. NBC
25 million,
saying,
Billy.
We don't want you around. Why? Because NBC News' numbers, Lester Holt and the Today Show, are catastrophe because half the country equates NBC News with MSNBC and they won't watch. So NBC is desperately trying to save the mothership of information, and they have to throw MSNBC overboard. They're not putting anything into MSNBC. They want to sell it. So where's Georgie Soros now? Georgie's buying radio stations. You can get MSNBC for nothing. They'll give it to you. They don't want any more of this. Why? Because it's hateful. Not because it's so far left. The whole NBC Comcast hierarchy is far left. But it's hateful. They hate Trump. They hate people who vote for Trump. Everybody knows that. And you know what's next? The View. ABC News had to cut ties with The View. And you saw that today or yesterday when Sonny Hostin had to read a legal statement in the middle of a segment. The lawyers
Can't do it again yesterday.
Get Whoopi Goldberg's ear, and it said, we're bringing a statement in on a teleprompter. She reads it. So it is over for these far left networks. Done, never coming back. Dracula's stake in the heart. Who benefits? News Nation may, but CNN, which is on the ropes too, will probably get some MSNBC viewers.
All right, I don't know about any of that, and quite frankly, I don't care. The hens on The View are evil. They promote death, they promote perversion, they promote destruction, and they lie, and they cover for liars. They break every ethical rule and construct known to exist. You know why? Because they don't have any. Again, you can't be mainstream if you don't love the mainstream. The mainstream should be Main Street America. And Main Street America, I'm sorry to say to many of you watching on YouTube and Rumble and X.com that don't know me and don't know the Crusade Radio Network and don't know the Mike Church Show and don't know anything about the ethics that we're talking about. I've never really thought about them. The mainstream can't be Main, and that Main Street can't be that mainstream unless there's a church in the center of the town. And unless the people's affairs are ordered around the church. So you want a theocracy? Yeah, we want a theocracy. That's exactly what we say. Again, the rule of that is obedience to the unenforceable. No one has to force anyone to abide by and act morally and ethically because people don't want to go to hell. People don't want to be on the wrong side of the four final things. They don't want to be on the wrong side of the golden rule. They don't want to be on the wrong side of the 10 commandments here. Now, you can say what you want about whatever other iterations of America here. America came from Christendom. The first people that came here, as a matter of fact, Columbus sailed to the West Indies Islands and Hispaniola and what have you here. In 1492, well, by my count, that's 26 years before Luther would bang a stake into the door of the Catholic Church at Worms. That's about 40 years before Henry VIII would finally declare a split with the Holy Roman Empire and the Catholic Church. That's about 75, 80 years before Queen Elizabeth would reenact the supremacy laws and finally, once and for all, turn England away from the Catholic Church and from the Catholic faith. So the first people that came to the United States as Christians came as Catholics. They came as Franciscans. They came as Dominicans. They came as Cistercians. They came as whatever order, I had it right, whatever order it was that they came from. And the point is, you can aim for perfection, but you're not going to hit perfection. Perfection's in heaven. That's not for us. We're not perfect. We're imperfect. We're always going to be. But you aim for it. Aim high. If you aim to make the mainstream main and pursuant to the good, true, and beautiful again, better things are going to come out of it than come out of it today. Who amongst you, Don from the Bronx of Florida, talks about this all the time when he comes on this show, talks about it in private. He's joined groups, I've joined groups that ought to have this as our mission, to inspire and, if we have to educate and to encourage people to act ethically, people to act all Christian and stuff. This is what turns the ship around. This is how you beat abortion. You beat it by making it unacceptable in your society. Oh, it can still happen. You can still have all manner of illicit affairs and adultery and all that. That's why they're sins and they're listed. But you don't condone it, and you don't elevate people to higher positions of authority when they have crossed those breaches. Well, that means that we can't have it. No, dude, you can't go ex post facto. You're looking forward here. This is a problem with so many people that I encounter and I speak with, and I listen to them talk about this. Stop looking backwards. It's fine to be inspired by the past. We need the past. You need to look that way. You need to look forward. What can you get right tomorrow? I'm not worried about what was gotten wrong yesterday. What can you get right today?